Hi everybody. I'm just going to give it just a minute since this is our card class. My very first replication of my once in-person card classes. Hang on. I'm going to see if I can turn the volume off. Okay. Now, with any luck, while you're watching, I can see the comments also. So that'll be good. First thing I want to say is on Saturday, the Designer Series paper sale ends and it's 15% off. Not every single piece of Designer Series paper, but many of them. And I will be using some of them today to show you. But I wanted to give you just a quick shot of what it looks like. And you can get more information. But the ones that are normally like $11.50 are $9.78. One of my favorites was normally $21 at $17.85. So it's a pretty good deal. Anyway, that is going on today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I don't know if anybody's watching yet, but it looks like a couple people might be. But give me a thumbs up. Let me know where you're from, and even if you're watching the replay. So this is something that it's a little bit different. I normally, back in the day when people saw each other, I would do card classes in my home, and of course, you know, many of you came to those, and I would give you your feedback for the class, for the cards that you made when you placed a minimum order. So what I'm doing now is I am going to, not every month, because we'll do it on the months that I'm not doing the volume events, but I'm going to do this, so kind of sort of every other month, and I will let you know in advance. I will be teaching a free card class. You can get the 4 cards materials, just like you see here. Everything will come like this. And of course an envelope, and the little things that you need, and like this, I've already punched out the pieces for you. Everything is cut, and the stuff is scored, so all of that is ready for you for every single card. And you get it free when you place a $30 order with that month's hostess code. This one right now is FET9SVEX. It expires on the 31st because that's when the Designer Series paper sale ends. And actually, I should have probably wrote on there, it's going to end at, for my special, it's going to end at 3 p.m. on Saturday. You can still order beyond that, but email me for the other hostess code, or you can use this hostess code, AM4RSFRW. That's actually going to be the hostess code for my volume event coming up next month. But for now, this is the one that's technically for the free card class, but I will make exceptions because I want to order a bunch of Designer Series paper, and so I don't want to wait till midnight when you guys are ordering, or I won't get to order. So here we go. So as you saw, I took everything out of the envelope, and then you will need to gather your bone folders, your adhesives, foam dots, paper snips, that kind of thing. So this is our very vanilla. I know it's probably hard to tell that on screen, but and it is pre-scored for you. The thick, very vanilla and whisper white, definitely you want to score them first, because they're very thick and they're not going to want to fold nice for you. It's nice to score really all of your cards. Also, I have given you a full, I'll be giving you a full, this is 4 by 5 1/4 piece of our gold foil. I will then give you a separate piece for this, already pre-done for your sentiment. But I'm cheap, and I'm going to recommend to you that you use your paper trimmer and maybe, you know, trim out the center, so then you have the center to use rather than waste it. Okay, so you're going to get this awesome designer series paper. And somewhere I had my cheat sheet that told me everything that I used. I guess I have to use my little sticky notes. So this is from the beautiful Autumn Designer Series paper, which you can see it's gilded on this side, but we're going to use this side. This one is also from the Gilded Autumn. We're going to use the plain side, but as you can see, it's also gilded. It's really hard not to use the gilded paper. It's just my personal opinion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this right in the center. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal and I'm just going to run it across the back. Hi, Diana. It's nice to see you. Sort of see you, I guess. Okay, and then I'm going to just place this right in the center as best I can. If you don't know me very well, perfection, in my personal opinion, is overrated, and you will hear me say that often. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is adhere this piece. This is a fairly flat card until you get to the little acorn embellishment. And then it's definitely going to be either a puffy envelope or a take it to somebody's for Thanksgiving and hand it to them. So I'm going to set that. It's slightly, I don't know if you can tell, but it's slightly to my right. Because I'm going to put this beautiful piece of the gold metallic trim ribbon on there. This does not always work with every ribbon, but I have found that if you're careful, you can get some adhesive on the back of the ribbon. And then I'm going to turn this way for me. And then I'm just going to kind of set it right off to the side there. Oh, I forgot. Oops. Nope, I can still do it. I think. I hope. All right. So then we're going to fold that over. I'm doing these pretty quickly because if you order the kit, oh, see, this is what I wanted to show you. If you trim it out, you will have that extra piece. I mean, that's quite a lot. That's a pretty big piece of that gold that you could be using. And I'm wasting here. It's very difficult to do that for you guys. So hope you appreciate it. Yeah, I see your name, Diana. You're right. There's no way in the world I'm going to see that little picture. I've got my computer off to the side. I'm trying to glance over when I get a second to do that. Okay. All right. Now, I am going to, when I send this to you, you're going to see that these pieces are not trimmed. That is because I wanted you to be able to, you may not have this awesome, beautiful autumn stamp set. You might be using something else. So, you know, that's totally gonna, work okay if I don't trim it for you. So this is Early Espresso. And I really should have my foam mat under here. Pardon me while I grab it. There we go. And I'm going to ink this up. And believe it or not, if I'm careful, it really does fit. Pardon my head, because I'm sure it might be in camera. Look at that. It fit. Yay. Okay. Then I am going to measure it here. Let's see if I gave myself enough gold. I did. And this time I'm just going to paper tear it. Y'all know how to paper tear, right? You hold it and you just pull it towards you and it gives you kind of a funky torn edge. You can dirty that up with a sponge if you want. I'm not going to this time, mostly because I forgot to grab a sponge. And then I am going to set this on here like that and tear the gold. Just to give it, a little bit kind of a worn look. By the way, these pieces were cut from this awesome punch. I always forget what they're called. It's called Lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch. It is in the annual catalog. And as you can see, it has 3 spaces so that you can keep going down in size. And it shows you here where it would cut them off. So it's pretty cool. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. Now, when I give this to you, I'm going to just give you the string. You can decide whether or not you want to tie it, and it will be stuck like this because this stuff wants to fray. So I stuck it inside a Post-it note, and then I tied a little bow, and I am going to take it and I'm going to cheat, and I am going to wrap it. Let's see if I gave myself enough when I did this. Okay. Oh, I messed up my bow a little bit. So, hang on, let me fix my bow. I know perfection is overrated, but I'd still like it to look a little cute. Okay, so then I'm going to take a glue dot. Forgot the glue dot. And I'm going to just kind of roll it up a little bit. Have y'all done that before, where you kind of roll it up like that? And I'm going to stick it behind the knot. It's kind of big, but it will work. And then I'm going to push it down right about there. Now it's going over the words, but I'm okay with that. Probably should have made this a little bit longer, but you'll have more and you'll probably do a better job than me, because that would not be unusual. And then you can see it's not centered. If I would have centered that bow a little better, I would have had plenty of room over on this side, but I have enough, so it's okay. And then I'm just going to trim off this leftover piece of string. Okay. Now I'm going to take this and I'm just going to use my Stampin' Dimensionals and I'm going to pop it up. When you're making your cards, don't forget to stamp or sign the back of it, because you want people to know that you took the time to make them something special. Handmade cards, they're just so much better than the ones that you can buy in the store. And then I'm just going to stick this right there. So as you can see, I think that's really crooked. As you can see, it's just a simple little card, but I think that whoever receives it would appreciate it. And of course, you know, you have the matching envelope. So that's card 1. So let me set that aside, everything else aside for that one. Oh, here's another one I did with that. I kind of used this one as my jumping off point, and then I switched it up. Okay, that one's done. Now we're going to do this one. All right, so, boy, I just fling stuff everywhere. But I don't know if you're like that. When I'm working, that's what I do anyway. So, okay, so here's your next little envelope of stuff. This time we're using the Whisper White thick cardstock. This thick cardstock is some of my, it's just, I love it. Because I really like our regular Whisper White and Very Vanilla, but it's a lighter weight. And so when you wanted to use white in the background, they tended to want to not stand up real straight for you. So yeah, this is nice and thick. I really like it. Okay, so this is what we're going to do with these. I'm giving you a bunch of strips of designer series paper. Again, this is from that awesome, now I've forgotten what it's called. The awesome, here it is, Forever Greenery designer series paper. See, I have my sticky notes. Thank goodness, because I typed up something really neat so that I would have it here, and it's on my printer, so, oh well. And this is Pretty Peacock, cut at 4 by 5 1/4. So you're going to get one of those. And then all I'm going to do, super simple, is I am going to just start putting on this paper. Now you may have a hard time deciding what side to pick. It's your card. Do whatever you want. So just put a little bit of your adhesive on the back. Oh, I should have probably started with the one that's in the center, which is this one. So I'm going to start with the center card. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with my adhesive right now. Okay, and then you're going to kind of just eyeball it, okay? Now, one thing you're going to see is I'm giving you a decent size piece of this. So these are cut a little bit shorter, and I'm eyeballing where the center is because, and I don't want any judgment because my head's not right here, which I don't know when you're crafting. Hi, I see more people have joined. Hello, Denise. Hello, Jan Shaw. Thanks for coming and watching me. Tell me where you're all from. I know where you're from, Jan Shaw, my buddy and pal. Okay, so let me just finish putting these on. You've got 5 pieces, and they're fairly close together. You're going to want to give them just a little bit of space. Here's the one I already stuck down. Oh, see, I did not give it enough space because I just wanted them super close together. All right, I'm going to do it this way and hang my head over. So pardon me, ladies, and any gentlemen that may be there. Okay, try this again. And here we go. It's like just barely. I may not have gotten my center one centered. That might be the problem. Oh my gosh, this worked so well. And look, I finished it. I did it right the first time. Perfection is overrated. That is my motto. One thing about adhesive, if you're careful, when you first put it on, you can take it back off. So I'm going to see if this will work for me, or if this will just be a dud card. If you're worried about this when you get your kit, feel free to trim your pieces so that they're a little thinner so you can see a little more of the pretty peacock in the background. That's totally acceptable. This one. In case anybody's wondering, yes, I am sticking my tongue out while I'm doing this, trying to get them on there. Oh, thanks, Jan. I'm glad to know you couldn't see my head. Okay, I look like I have plenty of room here. Now I can see that I have given myself more space down here than I did up here, which normally would make me crazy and I would have to keep trimming it. But if I try to trim this, even with my paper trimmer, while you guys are watching, I don't know. I think it would be frightening. I would start trying to make them all really skinny. So I'm not gonna. So now this is my next thing we're going to do. So I'm going to set that aside. I don't want to attach that yet. I am going to use my awesome world's greatest ever invention, the Stamparatus. It is not your mama's stamp positioner. This thing, if you saw my July volume training on this, you know how freaking cool it is. If you did not see that, the video is still up. It's also here on my Facebook page, so you could go look for it. So I'm only going to need one of the awesome plates. But if you don't know, comes with 2 plates like this, and they can be moved around and do hinge step stamping. So it's the best stamper apparatus in the world, which is why it's called a Stamparatus. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I am going to take my stamp, which is from the awesome Celebration Tidings, which kind of has everything you could possibly want in it. And I am going to take, I must have taken them off. Oh, I did. I am going to take the Just For You off. And I already have on a block this, this little symbol. So this is what I'm going to do. I am using the Stampin' Up! Pretty Peacock ink, which is the same color as this cardstock here. And I am going to, just for this one, because I want to show you this cool tip. This is my favorite tip ever. So I'm just going to set that on there. It doesn't matter where. Pop that down. Stick a magnet on there. Now I'm going to ink this up. And you don't have to worry with a stamping thing. If you get ink on it, it's not going to show. It's okay. So I'm getting that just for you, just where I want it. And I know I'm going to want it at the top of my little die cut piece. So when you get yours, you're going to get both of these pieces so that if you have a Stamparatus, you can do this cool trick too. Now I'm going to find the center, and I want it at the top. Take another magnet, flip it there. These magnets do come with it. They aren't covered. I just covered mine in some washi. Then you take the piece that was die cut out. By the way, this is from this awesome, it is called Celebration Label Dies. And these two come as a bundle, and they are awesome, in case you're interested. Okay, so now you see I've stuck this right into the hole that was cut. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but both pieces have stitching. So even if you use the whole piece, the negative piece, you would have stitching. So it's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to ink that up again and stamp. And then it's exactly where I wanted it, right at the top of that die, right at the top, which is exactly what I wanted. Now I could do that for the little flowers, but I'm going to be doing those kind of randomly. So I just inked them up, stamping one there and stamping one here. Now, for this, I decided I wanted to color them in, and I should have used Memento Black, but I kind of, I live vicariously and dangerously whenever possible. So I am just going to take this, one of our Stampin' Blends, and I'm going to use the brush. These are alcohol markers, so they do bleed through, just so you know. And I'm going to just run it on there. This happens to be the light old olive. And I'm just popping them on there wherever there's leaves, just to color it in. And I'm making a freaking mess here because I'm on camera. It's ridiculous. But you know what? I say art is art, and it doesn't matter. Now I'm going to take the pointy end of the darker, and I'm going to just go over some of these pieces here just to add a little more dimension. You don't really need to if you're going to use the color, but I thought it would just make it a little bit, some of these leaves a little bit more interesting. And I think I'll add just a little bit to these little thingies just to give them kind of a pop, even though I made a mess of them. It's okay. Then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the light, what color is this? This is Bermuda Bay, which is a lighter color than the Pretty Peacock, which is what the ink was. And I'm going to kind of go over these little buds. And I'm not worrying about making perfect circles because, why? First of all, it's me. You're not going to get perfect circles. So there you go. Now it's all nice and colored in. Let me set this aside. Okay, so there you have it. Now, one of the things I like to do is I like to add a background, but as you can see, this one is the same size, and I thought that the die, the next size up die, is this one, and that's just too big. So I didn't want to use that. So here's a little trick for you. I'm just going to put it on the ends. So this is really easy because I know exactly where the center is. These little doohickeys here. I'm going to pop that off. Cut them in half. See how it bleeds? It's supposed to do that. It's okay. And I'm going to just put some adhesive on the ends of the tag. And then I like to do it because these have a flat edge. I like to kind of hold it up to try and get it as straight as possible. But you see how now I have like a little edge there. And then that doesn't always work. Not all of these are going to have. Sorry, trying to make sure I have the right side. I do. Okay. Not all of these are going to have a nice flat edge that you can do that with. But see how I made that? Just like that. Now I'm going to take this. I did do this a little bit differently than my last one, but that's okay. And I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive right here because I know it's going to go on right there. And just set it down. Okay, for those of you who have ordered, and I think some people did that's watching have ordered the special and the craft along for the February or for the November volume. I will not be going through every single card specifically except for that awesome swirl card. That one definitely I will be. But you'll have directions. This one too, if you decide that you wanted to order $30 in product, you can get this one free and you will get some directions. Now I'm going to use again my awesome Stampin' Dimensionals and just pop this up. I love dimensionals. How many of you guys remember when you used to buy them and they were like little circles on a sheet and then you had all those little holes and people would throw those sheets away when there was still so much dimensional? I used to pull them out of the trash. I love that Stampin' Up! Has them, these little hexagons. I think a lot of people do now, but I use the ends too. So love me some dimensionals. Don't like finding these little dots everywhere. My cat wears them. I find them in my undergarments. It's true. I shouldn't say that, but it's true. All right. So another cool thing, I know where the center is because of the little doohickama-bobber there. So that makes it a little bit easier for me to center this. There we go. Still not saying it's perfect. And then look, I'm even going to tie a bow for you. You're welcome. Excuse me. Again, of course I'm coughing. And then take another glue dot for your bow. And you know you can stick your bow right to your glue dot. Then push back any extra. And then there you go. So there's that card. Let me show you the original. Now I see I did something different on the original. I ran the ribbon over this, but it looks good either way, I think. I don't know. What do you guys think? Which do you prefer? Ribbon over, ribbon under? Let me know. It's not a huge difference, but there you go. That's that card. Let me show you kind of the inspirations. This was my starting inspiration for this. This I made when Stampin' Up! Had a special for joining. And then I made this one quite a while ago. It's one of my favorites. I still really like it a lot. But those were my inspirations for that card. Okay. On to card number 3. For this one, oh, I forgot to move all this stuff out of my way. Sorry, everybody. Okay, for this one, I am going to be using the In the Pines set. And I wanted to show you this. I do not know what inks you will have, but when you get the kit, I will have colored your ribbon. This ribbon is white. It's the same ribbon I used on the last card. But if you run it through your ink pad, or you can use a blends marker to color it. I just didn't have the color I wanted in the blends. And then, like I took it between, like in a paper towel, and I rubbed it to get off any of the excess ink. And then I put it in my little piece of junk glass jar, threw it in here, and I heat set it with my heat gun. And it'll swirl around and it'll have a little fun time. But it's a lot easier than trying to hold the end of it and then blow it, because that's what happens. So, so find yourself something, not a plastic, but glass, or glass is probably best, and let it heat set it that way. And then you won't have to worry about it. The color should stay. I say should because, you know, you never know. So this time it's a little note card. So this one's pretty simple. And all you're going to get is a little note. You'll get a little piece of the Bermuda Bay ink cardstock, which is what I use to color the ribbon. And then a piece of designer series paper that is from, what is this called? Play with Patterns, I think it's called, this designer series paper. All the designer series paper I'm showing you today is on sale, just so you know. So this is what I'm going to do with this. Let me grab back that. All right. Grabbing the foam mat and my little paper from the Stamparatus. This is what I use almost always, are these little tiny squares to stamp on, because the big ones, you know, oh, good, you like them both. Cool. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Diana, those old circle dimensionals. Oh, hey, turn off. Those old circle dimensioners, those were crazy. But hey, we were happy to have them. So this is the In the Pines set. It does come with dies, which I apparently don't have in front of me. I don't. How crazy. But it is very cool. It is playing with patterns. Cool. Okay, so now I'm going to take this little tiny piece, and I'm going to take one of the trees. I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to stamp it in Bermuda Bay. If you don't have Bermuda Bay and you order this kit, of course you can order all the inks and stuff too. Just let me know and I'll be happy to help you with that. But you can probably match a green or even use black. And this would look fine if you did, you know, just this part of the tree, which I didn't stamp centered, but you know, that's okay. Then I'm going to take a piece of the Simply Chamois. I cut my Simply Chamois in half, and this one is just, I haven't used it yet. They come like this, and it's nice, and I know a lot of people keep them in a container and rub it, but I use mine a lot with my Stamparatus, so I very often cut them up. And then after I moisten them, I just keep them in a plastic bag until it's time to clean them. And they never come super clean. Just prepare yourself for that. Okay, but I want to clean this one because I'm going to take it off, and I'm using that block again for the inside. And this time I am going to use Coastal Cabana ink for the inside of the tree. Okay. Let's see how I do with where I'm at. Okay, that's not bad considering I did not have my face right over it. I should have. Oh, sorry. I think I was making noise with the microphone. Okay. So, I'm going to start with that, and another super simple card. I try not to make these too complicated because, you know, they're just quick and easy, and they're just a little freebie when you place a small order. So, okay, then I'm going to use my dimensionals that I love. Have I mentioned that I love Stampin' Dimensionals? I think perhaps I have. And you get like 100 billion zillion of them. That's not true. That's not true at all. It's a complete lie. But you get a whole lot of them when you order a pack. And you can get them in these little sizes and in the big sizes. And I think they're $4. They're not a whole lot of money. So then I'm just going to set this, and I'm setting it off over almost all the way. I'm going to be able to see it a little better. Oops. Lift, lift, lift. I'm setting it over like that to the end because I'm going to add this ribbon over here. And that's how I want it to work. So then I'm going to use Season's Greetings or Thinking of You. I think I'll go ahead and use Thinking of You because then you can send it anytime you want, right? And I'm just going to stick it on the back of this block which I didn't clean that, but that's okay. This is a little big for that, so hopefully I don't make a complete mess, because it is certainly possible. I'm going to ink that up. Okay, not too bad. And then I'm going to keep this off slightly to the side also, just slightly. Okay. Super simple, right? The fancy part is that the ribbon is colored. So then I'm just going to put the ribbon inside. Try and get it to lay flat for me. And run it down here. I'm kind of torn about this ribbon. I thought it was a really cool idea, but now that I'm putting it on there, I don't like it so much. I don't know. I don't know if I like it. Oh, well, I'm going to do it anyway because I said I would. But I think I might have liked it better white. I don't know. If you ordered this kit and you don't want me to color the ribbon, let me know. Because, you know. All right. And then let's see if Carrie can tie a bow while she's on screen. Sometimes I can and sometimes I cannot. I mean, I can tie it, but will it be pretty? That's the million-dollar question. I guess it's not bad. It's not as bad as I thought. So I'm giving you plenty of ribbon to play with here. And then you just want to cut it off. Whoops. There you go. Cute little note card. Yeah, I don't like the ribbon. What do y'all think? I don't know. I think that ribbon is not such a great plan. So, hey, you know, it might be cuter without it. But there you go. This is one I didn't make in advance, and that's why. That shows you to always make cards in advance. All right, on to the next one. Hurry, get that one out of the way. Quick, nobody look at it. All right. This one I know you're going to like. I know it. I know it. All right. So when you get this one, I will have scored it for you. Okay. So this one uses the poinsettia petals. This also comes in a bundle. It is in the holiday catalog. The bundle has the... you guys have seen the cards that I've made. It has the poinsettia and things. It's beautiful. And we're going to use this sentiment right there. May magic and wonder bloom this holiday. I use it a lot. It's probably my favorite sentiment for this stamp set. And for others. I've used it with other cards too. So I'm just going to have that ready. And I think I'll put it on straighter than that. Not that I'll stamp it straight, but hey, you know. And the ribbon is coming from the All the Trimmings ribbon combo pack. It's got Old Olive and Poppy Parade in it. And it's this beautiful thin ribbon. It's so pretty. It's just like the other one, gold trim, but it's just very thin. But here is the magic with this card. And one of my friends did this, and it was so freaking cool. I had to do it for you guys. So what this is this is a piece of 11" by 4" piece of very vanilla cardstock. And it is scored at 4 1/4 and 10 1/2. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold that and score it. And then you see now it's uneven, right? So you take this little 1/2 inch and you're going to fold that back. And I'm actually going to use tear and tape, I think, when I put this together. Now, here is the fun part. I am going to make the front of the card with this. This beautiful, oh, I want to put this on first. This beautiful, beautiful paper, also on sale. I believe it's called Poinsettia Place. I don't have the sticky note from this one, darn it. But I believe it's called Poinsettia Place. Jan, if you're still on, can you look that up and pop that on there for me and let everybody know if it really is Poinsettia Place? Okay, so now I am going to attempt to put this where I want it, which is just off to the side. You can do whatever you want with yours. Isn't this ribbon pretty? It's so pretty. And it matches this designer series paper so beautifully. And then it's going to match this piece of old olive cardstock perfectly. Now here's an interesting thing. This doesn't open, right? Cool. And then here's a back. Doesn't open. So now what we're going to do is we are going to, always have to think about this for a minute. Okay. So now I'm going to take this tear and tape, and I'm going to move this out of the way so I don't make a big mess. And I am going to put it pretty close to the fold on this. And then tear. And then let me tell you about these. If you use your bone folder and press down, you're going to be able to get, especially if you have nail polish on or, if you have specialty nails or something. And then I'm going to, I folded it back over on all of my scores, but I want to make sure I can see what I'm doing. So now I'm going to take my card front, and this is going to be the top. This is going to be the bottom. I'm going to flip it over, okay, top, bottom. And I want to center this on there. Ooh, I actually got it kind of wider than I thought. But that's okay. It's going to work fine. It's going to work fine. Looks like it's a little wide, but that's all right. I'll make yours better. It is. Look at that. Some days, Carrie. All right. So I didn't trim mine right, so I'm going to trim it right now the correct way. I don't know if I can get this off, but I'm going to give it a... Oh, look at that. Yay me. I know you guys can't see that on, but I'm making just a little bit of a mess. So when you get yours, I'll cut it right. I probably grabbed the one that was the leftover one when I did this. I'm going to stick that back on. Let me cut this properly so that it's at 4 inches like I thought it was supposed to be. All right, better. Okay, nothing to see here. Nothing happened. Shh, you didn't notice. Poinsettia Place. Thank you, Jan. Page 15. Okay, so let's try that again. Okay, top, and then the tear and tape. I'm going to put on a little bit more adhesive since I kind of messed this up a little bit. I'm going to have to, I just cut a couple of these for class. I'm going to have to go make sure I cut them right so that you guys get the right one. So now what I'm doing is I am setting this kind of sort of centered. Better, so much better. Like that. All right. So there we go. Then I'm going to take this side. Well, wait, I don't want to do that yet. I'm going to take this, and you've got an extra piece of designer series paper. And I'm thinking it's a little wider on purpose because, oh no, this one fits. Well, no, I would definitely trim it. I'm going to set that right there and then see how it's hanging a little bit. If you just take your snips, and I like to do this when I know I'm going to have an edge like this, because I don't know, I never get them cut all exactly the same. So if you were looking for the perfect demonstrator, you're not done looking. She's not me. And then I am going to add some adhesive on the back of this piece right here. Then I'm going to stand this up. Can you guys see where I'm going with this? And I'm lining it up. So now when it opens, it does that. Coolness, right? Cool, cool, cool. So you have tons of, this is great for a Christmas card because, you know, sometimes for some people, maybe not everybody, some people you just want to go, Merry Christmas, the Smiths. You know, I get it. But some people, you do want to write a letter. So now there's that. Then you've got the two pieces here, and I'm going to take this lovely sentiment and I am stamping it in soft suede, which is the same color of the brown in these leaves and things. And I am going to set this off center. See how it's kind of off centered to this side, and I'll show you why. Now, you're going to get a piece that looks like this to fussy cut, because I'm not fussy cutting for everybody. And so I already fussy cut and I tied you another bow. So I'm going to adhere this onto another piece of the awesome old olive cardstock. And dimensionals. So if you don't have dimensionals, make sure you have dimensionals. They are awesome, in case you haven't heard. Okay. See, I just fling these. It's no wonder they're all over my house, right? Do y'all have that? Please tell me you do. Please tell me I'm not alone. And I'm going to set this off onto the ribbon, or yeah, over the ribbon is what I meant, not onto, over the ribbon. I'm going to take this little piece and another little glue dot. Again, this time, because it is that skinny ribbon, I am going to roll it onto my finger and stick it on the back like that. That helps keep the bow tied too, by the way. These little skinny ribbons, oh, they do so great. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to set it up here. So I only want pop dots up here. I keep calling them pop dots. They're called Stampin' Dimensionals. Pop dots shows how old I am. And then I'm going to put adhesives on the part that are going to stick to the card. Because I wouldn't want to put dimensionals everywhere or it would pop funny, right? So now I'm going to do that. Press that down. There we go. Fun card. Do you like it? Give me a thumbs up or a heart, a love, whatever. Again, this is my free card class. You can get all of the pieces to make the card for free if you order by Saturday at, what did I say, 3 p.m. I think, on Saturday the 31st, so Halloween. And you use, it's got to be at least a $30 order, FET9SVEX, and you will get these free cards. And I will, in the future, I will show you the cards probably. I'll give you some kind of a quick sneak peek so you'll know in advance. For those of you who are thinking about holidays, please remember I do have gift certificates available that you can buy gift certificates for your friends or husband or whoever can buy you a gift certificate. And then they can order Stampin' Up! From me, which is cool. So for those of you who are going to volume, I just want to get this in there. And then if you have questions, please post them and I'll take a quick look. This is the Curvy Celebration set that is part of the bargain. It's not available for you to purchase yet, but I know that the craft alongs, I've offered half off the craft along if you order my special, and that's you being able to get this without tax and shipping. So it's $70.50 for both stamp sets, the dies, and the designer series paper. But you're going to have to order that by emailing me because Stampin' Up! Is not giving you the free shipping and the free tax. So that's why it has to come through me. They don't let us do that. But here are the cards we'll be making at the volume event. And I'm not going to be cutting all these, but I will be giving you a template to cut the curve. And this one is, you'll get the pieces, but if you don't have the stamp set, yours will look a little different. I am going to offer options, like different options if you didn't buy the stamp set. so you'll know. And then this one for Christmas, and then the one everybody's waiting for. You're going to learn how to do the cool swirl cards. So anyway, that's for the volume event. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Feel free to copy, Jan. You know I love you. Feel free. So, okay, that is it for this evening. Does anybody have any questions before I pop off on how this works? I know it's a little slower with questions. I don't see anything. I'm looking to see. Oh, Denise, I'm so sorry that you're having a bad day. I will keep you in my prayers. It's just, it's been raining a lot. Today was a pretty nice day, but it's been raining in Michigan here a lot, so it's not been too great. So hi to Diana and my friend Jan. Hi, Susan. I know who you are. Oh, Laura and Sue are there with you. Hello, Laura and Sue. I'm glad you couldn't see my head. Thank you, Jan. I appreciate that. What is the designer series paper you used? Okay. For each of the cards, it was something different. This one was the Poinsettia Place designer series paper. For this one, if that's what you're talking about, I'm not really sure. Thank you, Terry. I'm not really sure, Kathy, which designer series paper you're asking me about. This one is the plaid patterns, plaid party, plaid something. And it is, you're going to get half of a pack of that when you get the kit for the Mega Me, if that, or for volume, if that's what you're asking about. The other designer series paper that I've used tonight is, okay, you don't need that. I used Forever Greenery. Let's see if you guys can see that. I used Forever Greenery. Oh, Plaid Tidings. That's the one I was talking about. Poinsettia Place and Playing with Patterns. So those are the three that I used tonight. Playing with Patterns, Forever Greenery, and Poinsettia Place. Playing with Patterns is 6x6. The other two are 12x12. So I'll set this here. Okay. Any other questions? Did I answer your question, Kathy, about the designer series paper? I hope. I'm just giving it a minute so I can see if there's anything else. Again, this is going to be something I do, like I said, every month except for the months that I have a volume. At least right now, I don't think I would do both because I do work full time, so it would just be a little too much for me. But it'll be a free card class here, so follow my Facebook page here. It's Memory Inkers. Or it's facebook.com/memoryinkers in case you're watching this somewhere else. But I do, on Tuesdays, I do Tiny Tip Tuesdays. On Saturday, I do Saturday SIP, which stands for Stamps, Ink, and Paper. It's usually a really simple card. So make sure you follow me and check that little box to know when I'm live. So anyway, if that is it, I guess I will see you guys all next time. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it if you share this video with your friends, and have a lovely evening. Bye, everybody.